Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carolyn and I'm the Flosstube Stitcher. Today is Monday, December the 1st and this video is, it's also the first day of summer, I forgot to mention, here in Australia. So that's interesting. I just put something up on Instagram and mentioned that we've completely skipped spring here in South Australia. The last 3 months have just been really cold and windy and not spring-like at all. And now we're into summer, so I don't know what happened to spring. So if maybe we get delayed spring weather and we skip summer altogether, I'll be really happy with that because I'm not a summer person. I'm not a extreme heat person at all. So yes, anyway, so first of summer here, and I know that means it will be the opposite for you in other areas of the world, which I'm jealous. All right, so this is my November WIP update video and I have so much to show you today. I'm very, very excited to announce that I have 6 fully finished objects to show you. I did say last month that I hope to get 8 done prior to my the Stitching Sunday event here in Adelaide. I did not quite achieve 8, but that's okay. I've still got a few weeks until Christmas and hopefully I can get them done by then. So 6 fully finished objects, which I'm really proud of myself for because it is not my strong suit, fully finishing objects. I also have 2 finishes, which will hopefully be fully finished soon, and I have 3 WIPs that I worked on this month. So as well as all of those things, I want to talk to you about a few other things, and hopefully it will just be a nice fun video. So get comfy, grab yourself a drink, get your stitching ready, and let's get started. So my first fully finished object for this past month is, what I think I'll do is I'll put up an image of the finished design first and then I'll show you how I finished it. So this is Christmas Black Cat by MaxStitchesArt on Etsy, and I've done a few of her designs this past month and I'm very happy with them. So this is the fully finished object here, and you may recall that I said I had made a few tweaks to the chart to make it look more like my son's cat, Buddy. So no white stripe here. Our cat is a tuxedo cat and just has all black face, just the white bib and white on the paws. So very, very happy with this design, loved it. So I finished this as a stand-up flat fold, so folds flat. Just before I get into that, I will mention that I stitched this on 18 count Black Aida. In fact, a lot of my Christmas designs this year were done on Black Aida, which that was not planned, but that's okay. We can have a trend of black one year, that's all good. So I used the tutorial because sadly Vonna's tutorials are no longer available online, which makes me very sad because she had the best tutorials out there in my opinion. And I've previously done a flat fold finish using her tutorial, but I had to search elsewhere for this one, and I can tell you that I used the tutorial by 123 Stitch on YouTube. So I found the best, in my opinion, best fabric to match that because it's got all the fairy lights, which it's got the fairy lights on the cat, and it's got the little fold, and then I did the trim just with a ready-made. I don't have one of those gadgets, which every year I say to myself I have to buy one of those cord maker gadgets, and I always think about it in November, and of course it's way too late. They're usually all sold out, and even if they weren't, I wouldn't be able to get it with shipping. So I'll have to put a note in my calendar for January, February to order one for next year, but that's okay. I think this trim looked really good. It's all in the same colours that's on the design, and really happy with how that finished. I like the fact that it folds flat for storage. Very, very easy. And my son doesn't know he's getting this. I don't normally stitch him a Christmas ornament, so I'm sure he'll like it, and hopefully he might just keep it on his desk all year round. So that was my fully finished object, the second one for the year. Now I will point out right now that I'll probably be doing a fair bit of editing during this video. My craft room that I'm currently sitting in is still under construction from the builders who had to fix the water leak. So that they fixed the leak, they fixed the damage to the wall, but now I'm left with a paint bubble. So now they have to come back and fix it again. And my room is, tell you what, I'll pan it across and you can see. Don't get dizzy. All right, everything's all still covered in sheets, and yes, so that's why I'm sitting on a slightly different position today. Hopefully I can get that back how I had it. And yes, so I don't have my usual props and things around me, so I'm going to be bending over a lot. So rather than have you watch that, I'll edit it out wherever I can. So hopefully you don't mind that. All right, let's move on to fully finished object number 3 for the year. I'll put up a picture here. Okay, and this is Christmas Geese favourite cups. This chart is available on mybobbin.com. Now, I always, someone pointed out last time about the designer of this, and I always seem to mention the wrong name. So there's 2 names to these designs. So the artist is Elena Elisiva, and the designer is Anna Petunova, which I've probably hacked their names. I'm very sorry. So I never really know who to mention, whether it's to credit the artist or the designer. So I'm going to credit both of them. I absolutely love these geese. This is the 4th in the series that I have stitched as pillows for Christmas. I stitched them on 32 count platinum Lugana 2/2. And as you can see, finished it as a pillow. And I'll show you the other ones I did. So the first one I did in this series was this one. That was called Better Together. Really cute, again, pillow. So they all have the same backing on them so that they all match. They're all stitched on the same fabric. And then I did the skating one. I can't remember what the name of that was, but they're skating, ice skating. And then last year, I did the Christmas tree. So there's 6 in the series, and I plan on stitching them all. And I just love them. They're so easy to finish as little pillows. Stuff them, and my smalls basket is getting quite full now for Christmas, which is great. But yeah, look at them. They're so cute together. Look, love them. Okay, then we move on to fully finished object number 4 for the year. Put up a picture here for you. This is called Christmas Goose, and also by MaxStitchesArt on Etsy. And this one, you may recall that I said that I would convert this into a duck because my grandson absolutely loves ducks. And I thought this goose pattern was really cute, and it was just so simple to make it into a duck. I just removed some stitches from the neck. And this is the fully finished object here. I'll show you back here first. So I've just finished it as a flat ornament. So I put padding behind the design. Did I do front and back? Yes, I did. I'm trying to feel it's not overly thick. And what I did with the cording was I started at the bottom with the tail, went all the way around, did the loop, came around, all the way around, tail down, and then got one of these threads and wrapped it around so that you can't see the start and finish of the cording, because I didn't want to have it up here. I didn't want to add any ribbons. I wanted to keep it quite plain. And the other thing I did with these designs before I finished them was I personalised. I put his name up there and I put the year down here. At first I did it you know, I was looking at it thinking, oh, I'll do it in orange. That'll look really nice. The orange from his legs, and put it up there. You couldn't even see it. Blended in too much with the white, so decided to go for the black, but I did the orange there, which you can see. So really happy with that, and I think he's going to absolutely love that. And that's also stitched on 18 count black Aida. Then on to fully finished object number 5 for the year. Put up a picture here. This is Tree Rex by MaxStitchesArt on Etsy. And this is my finish. Another flat fold. Decided to do them the same, being as they're for brother and sister. 18 count black Aida again. And same flat fold finish, padding front and back. I did the cording the same, nice and easy. I actually did these finishes while the painters were here painting my wall. So I've pretty much converted my dining area into my craft room at the moment until I get all my Christmas finishes done, hoping it will inspire me. So yes, they were busy up here and I was busy down there, and it worked really well. So I also added Hazel's name on the hat, as you can see here, and the year. So I know she'll love that. She asked specifically for this dinosaur when I showed her the chart. She said, I want that one, I want that one. Okay. So there, it's a little bit bigger than what I would like for a tree ornament, but that's okay because they're not going to be big every year. So that's what they look like together, and they're spinning around. Crazy, stop spinning. So one's bigger than the other, but that's okay. It's good to have, you know, ornaments on the tree that are different sizes, otherwise it all looks a bit boring, doesn't it? Right, now the next one I'm going to have to put up a photo because this is the secret one that I couldn't share with you. So we had our Stitching Sunday event, our lovely Christmas event, and we all took along, we didn't all, it was optional whether we wanted to contribute to a gift exchange. So you either had to make a Christmas ornament or purchase one. So we all got to, those of us that donated got to pick a number, and numbers were drawn out. We went up to the table and we picked something. So the one that I did that you all didn't see, I can show you now, but I can't show you in person because obviously I don't have it anymore. So this is the picture here of her all finished, and her name is Mary Stitchmas, and it is by Joan Elliott. And I absolutely loved this. I loved stitching it. I'm going to stitch it for myself next year because it was so much fun. It was stitched on 18 count white Aida, and this is the little book I got it from. So it came in the Cross Stitch Crazy magazine. It says here 2012 on the back, but it's Joan Elliott, so you may be able to search for it elsewhere. I'm sure it will pop up along the way. I can't show you inside because it's actually just charts. But I just loved, you can see in the image itself, she's stitching Mary Stitchmas on the little hoop, and she's got her gold needle and thread in her hand. She's got her little gold glasses hanging on the edge of her nose, and I just think she's so cute. And you know, for a stitching event, the way it says Mary Stitchmas, I just thought that was ideal. I finished it as a flat fold, a flat design, and I used my ready-made trim that I had purchased just to go around the edge, and really happy with how it looked. So as I said, I hope to stitch that one next year, so I need to keep this book out handy and not lose it in the mess of this craft room, so that I know where to find it for next year. All right, I've got a box on my lap now because it's probably easier to do this by box because I want to show you a few things. Right, my next finish, my most exciting one for me. So this is my fully finished object number 7 for the year, is 2025 Nutcracker by Shannon Designs. There he is, all finished, all sparkly with his beads. He's so beautiful. I love him. I found the perfect fabric at Spotlight. As soon as I saw it, snapped it up, knew straight away that that would match perfectly, just matches in with the darker blue of his pants and his hat. And then I found the most beautiful silver, shiny silver cording. And I knew straight away that's what I needed because it makes the beading pop. But then I was concerned because the other two Nutcrackers that I'd already finished, I had done them in a matte gold cording. It still would have been fine, but when I purchased this metallic silver, I noticed they had metallic gold. So I knew exactly what to do. I bought some metallic gold and I went home and I changed over the ones I had at home. So I'll show you the previous ones first. So this is the, hang on, wrong one, 2023. So you see how shiny that gold is, that gold cording? It's beautiful. So if you're in Adelaide, Spotlight. This is where I got this from, Spotlight. Anywhere else in the world, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know where you can get it from. And this is the 2024. So this is what I had previously. I kept some because I'll use it on something else. I'll use it on an ornament. In fact, I used it on the other ornaments you just saw. So this is the matte gold. And if you can see the difference, I mean, it still looked beautiful, but you see the difference there? But when I put that silver, the shiny silver on, I just knew straight away I needed to have the shiny gold. So hopefully they never sell out of that because I want to do all the Nutcrackers in that in future. And it wasn't overly expensive, which is good. Now, as far as this has created a lot of interest on Instagram and Facebook and such. So when I did the previous two Nutcrackers, I followed Vonna's tutorial because she had a fantastic, Vonna just has the best tutorials, but again, they're not online. And I still had, I had made from the previous tutorials, got a template for that and just some basic instructions, and then a base plate template. So I was able to use all that again, and it helps if you've got one of these, all right, to get the curves right and everything. So of course I couldn't refer to Vonna's tutorial again. Sorry, I'm making a lot of excess noise. But I can't refer you to that if any of you want to finish a stand-up that way. But I did come across a tutorial that's very similar that you may be interested in. So it's by Helen D, East Coast Crafter. So she has a tutorial that is very, very similar to Vonna's. And if you finish that, you can do any stand-up the same as what I've done here. The only difference I've done, because in Vonna, I think she suggested it, is I've put some curtain weights. Hang on, I've got the thing here. That's what I've used. Curtain drape weights. So they're just like these little, these particular ones, but like in a little white plastic casing, and inside's like a metal weight. So I've put 2 of them inside each one, and that stops them from falling over, because without the weight they're going to be quite flimsy, you know, and I've got cats and I don't want them jumping up and knocking them on the floor and all that. So I find 2 of those weights is just absolutely perfect, and yeah, have that nice weight to them. So that's a good little tip if anyone's interested. Okay, so that's all my FFOs finished, my 6, and I did them back to front in this video. Normally I leave the FFOs to the end, but I really wanted to inspire you all. We're getting you know, really close to Christmas now, and I know a lot of you have finished designs and you're just putting off that final step, just like I do, because a lot of us don't like doing the, you know, fully finishing them. So I'm hoping that by seeing those now, it's inspired you to get them out, get them finished, get them up on that tree or up on that Christmas shelf, because you'll feel so much better for it. Once it's done, you'll be happy. All right, so I have a finish to show you. This is finish number 11 for this year. I'll put up a picture here first. This is called Sadie's Stocking by Shepherd's Bush. And I've been stitching this for my son's girlfriend. Just don't want to fold it too much because this has been washed. All right, so this is Chloe. This is Chloe's stocking. Well, it will be. So this is fully finished now. This is stitched on 28 count natural cashel linen. And it took me a total of 11 days. So don't let these, oh, one of my papers is gone. Don't let these designs scare you. They're really quite quick to stitch up. And although I haven't done it on the recommended fabric, it just goes to show that, yeah, they're a really quick design once you put your mind to it. The trickiest part is probably adding the beads, but then you don't have to. I don't purchase the embellishment packs because mine's done on a smaller count fabric, so a lot of them wouldn't fit anyway. And I like to add my own beads. So I'll get in a bit closer so you can see. So there's lots of gold and pink. Not too much, but just enough to make it interesting. Now, I think I mentioned on the last video, possibly, that, and I've said it a couple of times today now, that Vonna's tutorials are not online. And all the other stockings I've done, which are about 6, I think I've done about 6 now, have been done using her tutorial and another lady's tutorial whose name escapes me, for the quilted backing. And I have written instructions somewhere in this room on how to do it, and I can't find them. So I'm going to have to really have a good look, maybe next weekend. And if not, this one unfortunately will have to be finished in a different way, because it's not just a stocking, it's a stocking with binding, with quilting on the backs, just that little bit more complex. And I really did want to finish it the same as the others so it would match. And I can't remember it all in my head. I'm not that smart. So we'll see what happens. So fingers crossed I can find it. It is here somewhere. I know I wouldn't have thrown it away, but I just have to move things around and have a real good look. And another finish to show you, finish number 12 for the year. Put up a picture here for you. This is called Santa's House by Living on the Rainbow. And here it is here, it's tiny, it's all a bit warped. It was sitting awkwardly in my stitching bag, I just realised, and I haven't washed it yet. So this is on 18 count white Ada. I'm going to try and get in there so you can see. And it's super cute. And let me tell you, yes, it's tiny. Still took me, how long did it take me? 15 days to stitch that. 2 days of back stitching, and the back stitching was intense purely because it's this 18 count white Ada and I had to pierce the fabric a lot. This was the recommended fabrics, why I chose it. I had to pierce it a lot. Made my fingers bleed a few times. I probably should have been wearing a thimble, but I didn't. And then once I swapped over to a sharper needle, it was much easier. So if you're having that issue, having to pierce the fabric, make sure your needle is sharp and you'll find it a lot easier. So the only difference I've really made on this one is where the tinsel is hanging from the top of the stables. It was suggested to use chronic chenille thread, I think it was, but I didn't have that. So I've just used Petite Treasure braid in green, shiny. yeah. But yeah, a lot of back stitching, and now I'll just have to try and get this one finished. It shouldn't take too long. The instructions do look a little bit not complicated, but just lots of steps involved. So I have to get to, and see, I think about things too much. I dwell on it and think, oh, it's going to take a while. I shouldn't do it. I should just get straight into it, follow it step by step, and it would get done. And then I always realise afterwards, what was I worried about? But yeah, my brain takes over and starts to stress. And the exciting thing is, when I finished that Santa's house, that actually, I use an app called Xstitch on my phone, and I can note all my projects that I've started, finished, all the notes, what fabric I used, any changes I made, anything to do with it. And as soon as I added that to my app, I noticed that I have had 200 finishes in total for the amount of years I've been stitching. So that was really exciting to see. And I was thinking, how many do I have up on the wall? Not very many. Oh, that's sad. I shouldn't laugh. That's actually sad. But anyway, 200 finishes, so I'm proud of that. All right, now on to my WIPs for November, current WIPs. So I'll put up a picture here of this one. This is called Nutcracker Collection by Shannon Christine Designs. And this is what it looked like last time you saw it. And I'm stitching this on 32 count opalescent Belfast linen, 2/2. And this is where I'm up to. Do I need the paper? I think I do. There we go. So I finished the red Nutcracker on my right. This one over here. Finished him off and finished the little teeny weeny one off at the top, and started the boots and the legs of the next big one. So again, no beading on this yet. That will be done right at the end. So that's what all the gaps are for. But I love this. I was hoping to have this finished by Christmas. It's really not going to happen. I worked it out the other night, a week or so ago, how much I would average a night. And then I think it worked out that it would be another 20 odd days, because I'm not quite halfway through this one. This month I stitched on it for 4 days and got 1,443 stitches done. And I went from 41.71% to 49.27%. So not quite halfway, but I thought if I stitch on this, I would literally have to be stitching on it now every day up until Christmas to get it done. And that means that makes no time for anything else. So I decided not to do that. Shannon's 2026 Nutcracker will be released in July next year. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll have this to stitch on up until the next Nutcracker gets released, and I'll be happy with that. So this will be finished by next Christmas. It probably won't be in a frame, but it will be finished by next Christmas. So that's okay. I don't want to focus on one thing and sacrifice others if it's not all that important. So yes, still really enjoying all these Nutcrackers. They look so cute. My next WIP is a bit crumpled because it was in the same bag as that other one. I'll put up a picture here for you. This is called Santa Claus, and is another one by Living on the Rainbow. And I just thought this was so cute. I've bought the Mrs. Claus design as well. And again, these little ones, they're quite involved. All right, so this is where, this is where it was last time you saw it. And I was complaining about the whisper threads, and I was stuck on the hat. And all right, this is where we're up to. So excuse my little fold in the fabric there now. All right, so let's have a chat about these whisper threads. Now, I want to send a very big heartfelt thank you to Melody Hurley 6629 and Rhonda Moore 6137. thank you so much, ladies, for your tip on the Whisper thread. So those of you that have never used it before, this is Whisper thread. Okay, it's really fluffy. It's tricky to use because the more times you pull it through the fabric, the more it threads off. A bit like Krynic and you know how it splits away, but this eventually threads off and then you just get a bit of cotton without any fluff on it. But this is obviously designed to create fluff on a design, as in Santa's hat. When it gets fluffed up, this is not fluffed up yet, but when I fluff it up with a little brush or toothbrush or something, that will become quite fluffy. Anyway, I was complaining that it's tricky to work with because it's recommended that you just stitch with short strands at a time, and it just takes forever. So these two lovely ladies both suggested, the tip was to get a matching color of DMC to the Whisper cotton that you're using, the Whisper thread. Use the DMC as the first leg of the stitch, which I've done here on this part of the hat. This is all DMC, okay? So I've just done one leg, half stitch, all the way across, and then you go over the top stitch, the other half, with the Whisper thread. So previously, from here upwards is 2 strands of Whisper thread. The bottom section is 1 strand of Whisper thread and 1 strand of DMC. And I can't tell the difference. So that is not only a huge amount of time saved, but it's also money saved because you're using less Whisper thread. So I can't thank you ladies enough. It's just amazing, and hopefully some other people will see this tip and give it a try too. I think it's brilliant. Because not only do I have 3 of these hats, but his arms are all done in Whisper thread as well. And I didn't show you this last time because I didn't have it near the camera. I had to purchase specially from JK's, who is amazing here in Australia. The pattern called for glisten gloss for his beard, because it's not just going to be like white. So this is glisten gloss, and I've got everything slipping off my lap here. This is glisten gloss. Now, it's probably not really going to show. So it's white, but it's got like a sparkle to it. And the threads on the end, let me see if I can get a little bit out, are quite long. Let's get a little bit out. Oh, there we go. Can we see this? There we go. See how long those threads are and how sparkly that is. So pretty. So the idea for this is, I looked at the instructions quickly, but you basically lay it in rows using a couching stitch to keep it in place. And so I think that process will be quite quick, much quicker than all of this. But yes, so very excited to give that a go. And I'm really hoping that I can get this one finished. But it's a little bit more involved. I miscalculated how long the Whisper thread was going to take to stitch. Here's my other colours here. I've got the green, which will be on his arms, and the white. And oh, he's got a toy sack as well, which I also haven't stitched yet, but I think that that's for that somewhere, maybe. I can't remember. Sometimes when I get a delivery, I just chuck it all in one bag and I worry about it later. So anyway, this past month I spent 1 day on Santa while my grandchildren were sleeping, and I'll get to do that again tomorrow. So in 1 day I got 101 stitches done, which was finishing off the bottom of the hat and then doing, actually that hasn't even been counted because that's half a stitch, so I didn't even count that. So I've just done 101 stitches there, but I went from 59.49% to 61%. So let's see what I can get done tomorrow. Hopefully I can get both hats finished at least, maybe. Depends how long they sleep. Depends how well the whisper thread behaves for me. All right, and my last WIP for November, I was working on this right up until last night. I'll put up a picture here for you of the finished item. This is called, previously called Up on the Rooftop. It's now called Christmas House 1, and it's by Steve Crisp, and you can find this design on Artecy. And this is where I was up to last time you saw it. And I'm really loving the stage I'm at with this now, because each column I can see a new part of the room evolving, and it's just so exciting. So this is where we're at now. I just love this so much. All right, still got it on the frame. So last time you saw it, I was at the corner of the door here. So like that. So I've got all this done. So now the corner of the door is done, and you can see the mirror and the reflections in the mirror and the beginning of another wall color there. I also got the bottom of the sleigh, and is it the sleigh runners? Is that what you call them? They're starting to emerge there as well. This is such a calming thing for me to stitch on. It's been an emotional month for me on various levels, and this has really helped keep me calm. I've spent 5 days on this one. By the way, it's 18 count by Ada, in case you don't already know, stitched 2/1. 5 days of stitching, and I did 2,471 stitches, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I went from 35.13% to 37.05%. Getting there, still a long process, but to be honest, I just want to stitch on this for the rest of December. I just feel like stitching on this and being happy, but I will be sad at the same time because there's other things that also need attention, and I have to share the love around. Now, I mentioned the Stitching Sunday that we had here in Adelaide, which was our Christmas get-together. And I showed you my merry Stitchmas that I made as a gift. But I forgot to mention what I got as a gift. So, as I said, we had to go up to the table and grab ourselves a gift. And this is my beautiful gift made by, and thankfully, she put in a card, which I didn't think to do. I think it's a great idea. So this was stitched by Amanda Bowman, and it's called Christmas Gnome by FuzzyFoxDesigns on Etsy. She stitched this on 14 count Ada Devil with a Blue Dress On by Colour Cascade Fabrics. And I think he's absolutely gorgeous. Look at his little bell. There's a real bell on there. I love gnomes. And I don't have a gnome design yet. I've actually bought a few designs to stitch. But yeah, don't have one yet. And she's finished it also as a stand-up flat fold, which is amazing. And she made all the cording herself around the edge. What an amazing job. Thank you so much again, Amanda. I love him. He's already on my Christmas shelf with all my other Christmas items, and he will come out every year. I mean, it's just perfect. And everyone loved their presents. Everyone was so happy. It was such a great idea. So last night, I went to my mum's, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my mum has been diagnosed with dementia, and unfortunately it's escalating quicker than we'd like. She has her good days and bad days, and I think most people now know someone with dementia or have experienced it in their family. It's a very, very cruel disease. But the good news is, and because my stepdad's health is declining as well, and they're both each other's carers, and they're 86, so that's a tough call. So they've actually got into a nursing home, and they move in 2 days' time, and they're actually both really excited about it, and that just makes me so happy, because no one wants to force your parents. Oh, everything just fell down. No one wants to force your parents into a nursing home, and especially if that's something that they don't want to do. But they have lived together for as long as they possibly could without having to do that. But they've both realised that, you know, they need the extra care and support. So, as I said, they're very excited about it. They've got a wonderful place that they're going to, and yeah, I'm very happy that they'll be looked after and get that especially for mum, that 24-hour, 7-day-a-week care that she needs. So anyway, while I was at her house, she's asked me to look after 3 of her treasured pictures that I made for her until they move in properly, and then I'm going to take them to the nursing home and have them put them up on the wall, because she wants them up on the wall where she can see them every day. So while they're here, I thought you might like to see them again. And you've seen one fairly recently. The other 2 I've never shown on video. So this is Mirabilia, Lady of Provence, Roses of Provence, sorry. And we won't talk about the framing, let's not go there. That is what it is. Mum loves this design. This is her favourite. It's also my favourite. And I just love that frame. The frame is the best frame I've ever bought. Yeah, just a shame they messed up the framing. Anyway, so that's number 1. And excuse the twisting. This one you've never seen on video. This one's called To Mother, and it's by Cross My Heart. And I stitched this back in 1995. And I know that because I wrote something on the back of the frame. And the funny thing is, it's got my name down below, because I stitched this the year I got married, but obviously before I got married, and now I'm back to my maiden name again. So it's done a full circle. But I love the poem in this design. I love the flowers. And the frame's a bit scratched up now. It's moved from Adelaide to Coober Pedy, back to Adelaide. Yeah, it's okay. It's what's inside the frame that matters. And, you know, knowing that she loves these so much and treasures them means the absolute world to me. And then the last one was a diamond painting I did for her. And my mum loves elephants. Let's see if we can do this without a glare. And this is the most sparkly elephant I could find on AliExpress. It's just called Elephant. And I framed this one myself. And she loves it. And yeah, I'm hoping they can get all 3 up on the wall. If not, some of them might be coming back home to live with me. And that's okay too. Don't mind. Because eventually they will. One day. All right, now I just want to mention, before I talk about my December projects, because time is ticking, I have just achieved 10,000 followers on Instagram. And I'm so excited and so in shock. And any of you that follow me on Instagram that are watching here today, I just want to say a huge thank you. It means the absolute world to me. I rarely go on Facebook. I'm just not a lover of Facebook, but Instagram is my thing. I love it. I love that I can just keep track of things daily. I can be inspired and I can inspire others. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. And just to see that 10,000 tick over was the best feeling ever. So thank you all so much for following me. If you don't follow me yet and you would like to, I'll put the name down below. It is the Flosstube Stitcher. So some of you may have noticed I have been sharing some stories of Christmas competitions. I also do love competitions, so please don't mind those. Just skip past them if you're not interested in competitions. But I've been very, very lucky with competitions. So, and there's always a lot around Christmas. So I have been sharing them to stories. But you'll also see on there monthly recaps of my grandchildren and what, you know, it's basically a stitching page, but there is a little bit of personal stuff in there as well. So that's the way I wanted to have it set up. All right, so that's it for that. Now we'll talk briefly on December projects. So I really want to finish Santa Claus. There's not a lot to go, just the hat, the arms, all with Whisper, and then that beard. Whether it will be fully finished will be a really big push, but we'll see. Yeah, I've got to focus on the finish first. I will also probably work on Nutcracker collection some more, but having decided that I know it won't be finished by this Christmas, I may opt to do some other Christmas designs, like the one where Santa is kissing Mrs. Claus. That one hasn't seen any love for a while, and that's a Christmas design. And there's also the stocking I was making for Mum, which I haven't worked on that in ages. And I've got so many other stockings that I wanted to start. And oh my goodness, like you all know how it is. At this stage, I'm not really sure. That's why I'm not really going to promise what I'm going to work on in December. I would like to fully finish Santa's house, get that done, and I would like to fully finish Mrs. Claus's cookbook because I finished that so long ago and it just needs to be put together. But again, there's various steps involved. But I must finish Chloe's stocking. However I decide to finish it, that will get done. And you know what? I've had a bug for crochet. I've been getting a lot of Instagram feeds for crochet, and there's all these little cute little animals to stitch, and I'm really got the crochet bug at the moment. So you might actually see a little bit of crochet pop in between now and Christmas. So, but I promise it never will take away from my cross stitch. That's my number one love. So I always come back to cross stitch. Anyway, that's it for now. My phone is full. I've just got a warning, so I need to say goodbye and go and delete some photos. Thank you so much again for being with me and watching me ramble on. I really hope I've inspired you to get some Christmas FFOs done, and if not, to at least plan some. And thank you to all of you who subscribe, who like, who comment, who send tips and advice, and who just say, I love your stitching. Thank you so much for it all. I love it. I love this community, and I will keep continuing these videos as long as I possibly can. So if I do not see you before, will I see you before? Maybe. If I do not see you before, please have a wonderful Christmas. Please be safe. I hope you enjoy the time with your family. I hope you have a rest from work if you get chance to. But most of all, I hope you get lots of stitching done, because that's what we're all about. Thank you so much again, and have a great stitching month ahead. Bye for now.